What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Struggle to Strength podcast, your source for real life application on how to turn your struggles into strengths in all things mind, muscle, and money. I'm your host, Josh Levine. I'm joined here by my longtime friend and my co-host, Travis Hatch. And today, we had the pleasure of interviewing our old friend, Brittany Crisp, who has grown her Instagram to over 500,000. And so she shares with us some of the key strategies that she used to make that happen. If you are at all interested in learning how to grow and monetize your social media pages for yourself or your business, I highly recommend you stay tuned until the end of this episode. There are some absolutely fire knowledge bombs dropped throughout that both Travis and I are excited to implement to grow our own pages. Before we get into it, we ask that if you love this episode, please give us 5 stars on Apple or a follow on Spotify. Share us on your socials. You can tag me at Josh Levine Fitness, tag Travis at Travis Hawks Media. That's it. Episode, whatever this is about to change your socials, and it starts now. There's millions and millions and millions of social media accounts, and you made a really fucking big one. When did you realize that it could be a thing?
So when I was living in Vermont, I was working for a company called Food Science, doing graphic design.
Sick.
And I had taken 2 years off from exercise. Like you guys remember, I was always at the gym. I worked at the gym. So I was like a crazy fitness person. And then I wasn't like used to balancing having a full-time job and trying to fit into fitness. So I let myself go for 2 years. I got wicked, just unhappy with how I felt about my body. And one day I just decided, I was like, I need to start working out again. Like, this is just like ridiculous. I used to like be addicted to the gym. So I started doing YouTube tutorials in my living room. And when I started seeing results, I was starting to feel confident in myself. So I started taking pictures and posting them on Instagram. And at the time, I think I had like maybe 200 followers. And then I started getting like positive feedback, like people started following me like out of nowhere. And I was just like, this is fun. Like I'm motivating other people, like people that I went to school with or worked with or grew up with, were like, hey, like, I see what you're doing and you're inspiring me. Like, I want to get back into like taking care of myself and looking good. So when I started getting those like positive, comments and stuff, it motivated me to take it further. So I started like posting almost every day. I did research about hashtags. And then through the hashtags, people are finding my account and reposting it and asking to do shout outs with me. So from there, I just started like getting a bunch of traffic. And I also noticed that the tighter my exercise clothes were, the more people followed, like men at least. So I was like, all right, I think I'm kind of like seeing a pattern here. So then I started working on building my glutes, and that's where it all took off. This one account called White Girls Are Evolving. They had like 300,000 followers at the time, and they just posted my picture on their page without asking me. They just tagged me, and I was like, holy shit. I woke up the next day and I had like 2,000 followers.
Shit.
And then the Chive, do you know the Chive?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. They found me and they posted me on their page and their site. So from there, I just blew up.
Oh, no
and
shit.
It's been a challenging battle ever since. Obviously, social media is constantly changing. The trends are changing, and the platform itself changes, like data policies and privacy and all that stuff. So I have to work around all of Instagram's policies, it's been challenging for me. They've disabled my account like 5 times now. I've had to pay to get it back. I've invested a lot of money into my social media. Doing shout outs and promotion is how you grow, basically. It used to be a lot easier to grow, but the platform is trying so hard right now to push like family and, just be PG. So they take accounts like mine and they hide us from the broader audience. So now that they've done that, it takes a lot more to grow. And by that, I mean, you have to invest into it. So I pay for promotion here and there, and that helps boost my account, get more traffic. I'll do shout outs with accounts that have, a lot of followers, like 1 million. Working with photographers who have large followings is really helpful because when they post your picture, it blows up. So those are all the things that go into it. And also having really good quality content has helped a bunch. Like I started out using just cell phone pictures and they were really bad quality. And then I started doing actual modeling and I started seeing that that was a bigger hit than the cell phone pictures. So yeah, there's a lot that goes into it all.
You said
it's taken like 3 years to grow it, like to the point that it's at right now.
Yo, that's fast though. I feel like that's really fast.
Well, it was fast in the beginning and now it slowed down after I lost my page the first 2 times because every time it goes down, I feel like they kind of shadow ban it and it makes it tougher to like keep going up. Okay. So what I've been doing recently is I have a PR guy who's been writing articles for me and getting me out there on Google. That will help boost the audience. Like I'll get more traffic from those. And then, like I said, doing promo with other accounts, like paying for shout outs and stuff. That's been huge in getting it to like grow this fast.
Okay. So
if you're not like willing to invest in it, then it's going to be a very slow journey.
Oh, for sure.
And it's just always a constant like uphill battle, but one that I enjoy.
It seems like it. I mean, you're doing a great job of growing it. And yeah, it seems like it's kind of a double-edged sword. You kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Honestly, it's like, sometimes I don't feel like posting at all because it's so much work. Like I have to comment back for the first hour of my post being live in order to ramp up the engagement.
And you do that? You don't have a VA do that?
Nope. I'm doing it all on my own. Honestly, it's getting really out of control.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to balance. I have a lot of social media followings on different platforms. And it's like, I have to neglect like all the others to focus on one, or it's like, you know what I mean? It's so hard to find a balance.
I have like 1% of your followers and I'm exhausted. I'm about to hire a VA.
Yeah, same.
Oh my God. That's so funny. I mean, I have like I said, I have the PR person who like writes my articles. He's not like a manager by any means, but he is like someone that I will reach out to a lot to ask like for advice and questions regarding posting on Instagram and what helps. And yeah, I don't know, but I really have been wanting someone to help me run my social media. It's getting tough.
For sure. So,
that's why I haven't been posting very much.
Well, it's exhausting. It takes a lot of time and you need to plan ahead and you need content.
Yeah.
And
that's the part that like gets me too. It's like finding like unique hashtags to use. And then what's the caption going to say?
Yep.
Who am I going to tag in it? Because another thing that really helps your like posts get seen in the explore page is tagging like big accounts that might see your post and then they repost you. So I always have to like do research on who is like a real account, because a lot of big accounts have fake followers. So if they're reposting you and they're only getting like 700 likes per picture, like that's not going to add up. You're not going to grow from that. But if you see an account that has like, 700,000 followers and they're getting like 20,000 likes or 30,000 likes, then you're going to grow from that for sure.
Yeah. That's something that surprised me about your page. Cause my engagement's not great. But you have really good engagement.
Well, it's because I have dedicated my like time to literally, I research this stuff. Like they say, if you want to get the most likes, the whole goal is to be responding to every single comment you get, like not just with like emojis and stuff, like actually like read the person's comment and respond to it. And I do that for the first hour of a post being live. And then you're not supposed to edit your post within the first 24 hours of it being live, because if you do, it knocks it off the algorithm completely and then it gets hidden.
No shit.
Yeah. So that's a little trick.
So if you fuck up your caption, you just deal with it.
Yep. You have to, and or delete the post and decide to post it a different day, not that day.
Really?
Another thing is do not use banned hashtags, because they can delete your account for it and they'll hide you. I've done that before. I actually have a hashtag on my most recent post that was banned, and I still haven't deleted it yet because I just wanted to see what would happen. So I think that they're fixing that hashtag. It's because the hashtags get so cluttered with like porn and like stuff that they're not supposed to have because of bots. So Instagram will ban them for a while so they can clean out that, like, I don't know what it's called. Would you call that like a cache or whatever?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
So I think they have to go in and literally clean that all out, because people abuse the platform, like, hackers. They're like,
Is that your cat?
They somehow are able to put actual pornography out there. And it's been a real problem. Like, if you check some of the banned hashtags, you'll see why they're banned. Mm-hmm. And it will say like, Instagram is currently hiding this hashtag, blah, blah, blah. Like, try looking up. I think it was like.
You could probably look at hashtag porn.
Yeah.
And like, they'd be like, yeah, that's not, we don't have that.
It's ridiculous. Like, a hashtag that I used to use all the time was Kirby, and that's a banned hashtag.
Really? Didn't they ban EDM for a while?
That. Huh?
They banned hashtag EDM for a while too, I think.
Yes, they did. They've banned so many that you would just never expect. For instance, Desk was one.
Wait, what?
Was Desk. Used to be a banned hashtag. It might still be.
No more Desk.
No more Desk.
Exactly.
So you got to kind of stay on top of what hashtags are relevant, what hashtags are banned, what hashtags are too cluttered, what hashtags aren't cluttered enough.
Yeah, because I feel like I have a lot of friends in the fitness space. We utilize social media to grow our businesses. And I feel like I have a lot of friends who just yesterday were saying, I think I've been shadow banned, like, but have no idea why.
God. I also, so I don't know if you saw the last post I posted, it barely got the amount of likes that my typical posts get. And I think it's because I got shadow banned.
So is that the only way that you know that you're shadow banned, if you get poor engagement?
No, it's kind of like, so the real way to check if you're truly shadow banned, and I did check, so I'm probably not. I think the post just didn't perform well because my fans really like a certain angle when I'm posting like booty pics, and they're not so much into like the really, really airbrushed like stuff. Like the most recent post I had was that body paint one. And it's very like, it looks almost like a cartoon sort of, because
it's more like artistic.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, and it's supposed to look that way, but they don't really like that stuff. They like the like bright, like natural light, like sexy posts. But to check if you are shadow banned, you can literally click on a hashtag that you put on your own post, and it brings you to the Explore feed, and you click on recent. And if you scroll down and you see your post on the Explore feed for that specific hashtag, you're not shadow banned, because it means that they are putting you out there on the Explore for that specific
hashtag.
Yeah. Okay.
Same thing with like locations. If you tag a location and you click on that and you go to recent and you see your post show up, that means you're not shadow banned. So I did that with this most recent post, and it kept showing up. So I'm like, I'm not shadow banned. I'm just having an off day.
So that's a good way to know whether or not you're like, there's an issue with the platform and you, or if your posts are actually getting poor engagement.
Yeah. It's it's not the platform. It would be just that you're currently in a shadow ban because something that you posted might have been, there's an AI that literally scans every post that goes out there to approve it. And so if they see something, like for instance, if I was to post something and it was really sheer and it's scanned and it's like found that like there was like nipple showing or something, they will automatically hide that post.
Okay.
So it could be a caption that you write is too offensive.
Dude, I've seen it happen with like COVID.
Yeah.
People were talking people. Yeah. I've
if you say like fuck COVID. Wearing masks, for instance, you're probably going to get shadow banned.
I've had people who don't even post anything about COVID, but the AI picks it up and it has that little like,
it'll put that in anything. Yeah.
And then, and so I have said nothing about it because I don't want to fucking risk it.
Me too. I haven't said anything about that. I didn't say anything about the election.
Nope.
I don't say anything about like, there was the Black Lives Matter movement. I did post a hashtag for that. And then suddenly someone messaged me and they're like, you should take that hashtag out right now because they're getting people for that, because apparently people are using that hashtag on the black just square. Mm-hmm. And it was clogging up the whole Explore feed and not showing the true like cause, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they were getting people for that too. So I had to like take my post down and then repost it again and just take the hashtags out completely. And I just didn't put anything. I just put the black block.
Yep.
But after that, I noticed I was getting like less engagement. So it was the AI system definitely picked up on that.
Okay. So obviously you've learned a lot about all this, and like it's part of why we want to have you on is you're one of the most social media savvy people that I think we know.
Yeah.
I basically got fired from like 2 jobs for it. And I just decided like after the last job that I lost, I was like, I'm going to just start making this my full-time job.
Yeah. You
because
got to keep your eye on the prize and not like.
But now I'm doing graphic design again. So it's funny because the company reached out to me. So I'm freelancing for them, but now I get to do that plus this. So it's like, and I make up my own hours and everything.
That's cool.
So pretty cool. Yeah.
That's awesome. So like when you're learning about this, cause I've tried, I think Travis has tried, and much like I see in the fitness space, there's just so much fucking bullshit.
It's really saturated. The fitness world is one of the most saturated, like, categories out there for social media. And that's what I originally was trying for. And then I decided to go the more sexy route because I realized that I was up against some tough competition for fitness.
Yeah, it is tough.
It's so hard to grow in the fitness industry, like on social media because of the saturation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. As like, my physique is finally to a place where it's impressive and I can grow my page based on it for better or worse. But I also post a lot of information. Part of why I do that is because there's so much bullshit information out there on how to get the physique you want or how to reach your fitness goals. When I was first trying to grow my Instagram, there was also so much bullshit on how to grow your Instagram. And I definitely made some very poor choices.
Oh no.
Well, yeah, I think, I don't know. Everyone does. So how do you sift through the bullshit? Cause there's so much on how to on how to do it wrong.
So for me, it's all about like connections and who you know out there who is doing kind of the similar thing. And you see them like doing it and succeeding like so well. I will reach out to like people, ask them for advice on, how did you link up with this like really famous photographer? How did you get your account to like grow so fast? And so pretty much just like, and this is how it is in like pretty much everything in life. Mm-hmm. It's who you know. Yep. And so I was fortunate enough to like right from the get-go, get connected with really big accounts, and they would help me grow by like reposting me on their stories, giving me like advice and tips on what I could do differently. Short and sweet captions are the best. You just want to satisfy your viewer and get straight to the point. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like I said, really good quality content goes a long way. Mm-hmm. And people are they want that, not like some half-assed, like, bullshit. Mm-hmm. People don't like reading really big paragraphs. That's another thing I've learned. If you're like putting 50 hashtags out there, which another rule of thumb is no more than 9 hashtags, because if you put more than that, it's cluttered and the hashtags they're not going to work properly. So less is more.
Interesting.
In so many aspects of life.
Yeah, true. Right?
Yeah.
That's interesting. So
basically being unique is the best advice I can give is it's trying to not be like everyone else.
Yeah. Well, you want to stand out.
Because we have so much of just like the same shit all the time. Like the reason that people like me, at least this is like what I hear from fans. They're like, I love how genuine you are. You're like natural and I'm transparent. Like I talk about like real life things. Like I'm not out here pretending that I'm some like bougie person, like driving a Ferrari or like showing off my money, like I'm not flexing. I'm trying to like show them that I'm just as real of a person as they are so that they don't feel like I'm just this this famous person, because I'm not. I'm just a regular person, just like everyone else out there. I just found a niche, Yeah.
Well, that's also the sake of like your own mental health. I see so many people out here who have followings or have big followings, and you meet them in person. You're like, dude, I don't even you're a completely different person in real life.
Oh my God.
That must be exhausting.
Yeah. So that's another thing. I try not to hide how I'm feeling. Like I'll post when I'm not feeling good. Like I recently was posting that I felt depressed, and I have to put it out there on my social media so that people know that sometimes I'm not like, I don't want to be on it. Mm-hmm. So I try to like show them that like I'm, going through stuff too, just like everyone else. And I'm not going to hide that mm-hmm. because then I have to like live a double life, which I don't want to do. I just want to be me. So yeah, that's the biggest thing is just be yourself.
Yeah. And people appreciate the vulnerability.
Exactly.
Yeah. They're like, oh, you're human.
Yeah. And it's like another thing that, and this is just me, this bothers me, but so many of the people out there who are doing like something like what I'm doing are like, I'm not knocking plastic surgery, but it's sad to see so many young people who are just giving up completely on trying to like just exercise to get the body they want. They're like getting new hips, getting fake abs implanted in them. Butt implants are like the biggest thing right now.
Yeah, and I know.
Glutes. Just fucking go to the gym and lift some heavy weights.
Like you can build a butt.
I literally built mine.
Yeah, like I see it. I seen you.
Yeah, it's hard work, but it's worth it. I feel like. I mean, I feel like I've accomplished a lot, and it's a good feeling. That's probably why a lot of these girls have such mental health problems, because they didn't they didn't start like out building it. They just decided to buy it, and they probably just still feel like shit about themselves.
Well, we live in a time where people want things right away. And they want it and they want it now. And I mean, it happens in the fitness space too. My best engaging photos are the ones where I look like an absolute freak. Like I look disgusting and people don't want to look like me. And those perform the best. And so then it makes you, feel like, oh, I shouldn't post photos in off season because like I don't look like a freak.
I actually know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. So if I'm shredded to the bone and I have veins coming like from my ankles all the way up to my neck, those photos get a ton of engagement and they get shared.
Obviously, yeah.
But then,
you can't be like that all the time though.
No, but
you would die.
Unhealthy. You would die. It's unhealthy for people to get in that mind space though.
It is. I have the same problem with what I do.
Yeah, I bet. So let's talk about that because you're strong as fuck. I seen it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I sprained my back last March, right during the initial shutdown, because I was deadlifting in my dad's wood shop from a much lower spot. Like the bar was a lot lower than it typically was.
You had standard plates. Yep.
I was using the same weight I had always used before. I thought my form was good, but apparently I didn't realize that if I was going from that lower position, well, I fucked it up big time. Mm-hmm. I thought that I was doing everything right. And then I just moved the wrong way, like twinged or something. And then all of a sudden I just felt this huge sharp pain, like wrap around my like low back and up my spine. And I fell to the ground and I was just like holding my knees into my chest. I was like, oh my God, I think something bad just happened. Oh. So then I literally couldn't move for like weeks. So I went to a chiropractor, got x-rays, and they're like, yeah, you definitely sprained your like left lower lumbar, whatever that's called, and your lat because of the way that I reached or something when I pulled. And so after that, I couldn't work out for about 6 weeks, got really skinny, lost my ass completely. Everything that I had grown and built over the like past 3 years, just fucking like I had ribs coming out, kind of like you could see them, like no abs. And I was just so soft. My arms and legs just shrunk up. And I was like, this is disgusting. I had no appetite. So I started getting really like down on myself. And I didn't want to take any, I call them belfies, booty belfies, because I was just like, what is this? Like, it doesn't look the same anymore. Like I had to literally like break my back to get the right angle to make it still look the way that it looked before. So like I started really like obsessing and like hyper focusing on it to the point where it was really making me feel extremely depressed. Like I fell into such a depression after that. And I know exactly how it feels to like post like these pictures of your body when it looks its best and then take time off and your results sort of like, they disappear because you're not getting that pump. So I now have 2 personal trainers who I train with 2 times a week. And then I do CrossFit on top of that and boot camp. And so I do like 2 workouts a day, twice a week. And I'm paying like over $500, more than $500 a month just for all of this, like these gyms and stuff, which is kind of crazy, but It's funny. I don't know. I'm definitely in the gym more than anywhere else. I feel like that's my job now.
Mm-hmm.
And I started like eating a ton of protein. I actually started using a mass gainer and creatine and just eating so many carbs. And then all of a sudden my butt just blew up again.
Mm-hmm.
And more than my butt, my legs are bigger than they've ever been in my life. Like I've been ripping all my pants lately.
Yes.
So it's kind of cool, I guess. But I feel like now I overcompensated for the thickness and I'm like the thickest I've ever been. I'm like, I weigh 150 pounds now, but it's all muscle, which is good.
It's part of the process. I mean, if you want to build muscle, you're going to put on a little bit of body fat. And like, honestly, you probably feel great because when your body fat's low, it's like your hormones can be off. And
I mean, I feel good, but at the same time, and this is the thing that sucks about being in social media like I am. I see the girls out there who are getting like liposuction and BBLs, and it pisses me off because they've got such tiny waists and such big butts. And it's like, I obviously am a tree trunk because I do CrossFit and I'm lifting super heavy weight over my head. So obviously I'm thick through here and then I'm thick like everywhere else. So it's like, I want a smaller waist, but I don't want to stop lifting heavy. That's my biggest problem. And I'll never stop lifting heavy.
No, you shouldn't. I was going to say, you shouldn't.
I want to be able to literally wrestle with a guy and be the winner.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. I feel you. Cool. Yeah. I mean, you can bring your waist in. I do it all the time. In bodybuilding, we do it all the time. You can bring your waist in.
It's like, I don't know. I also don't want to give up my bad habits. Like I love wine. I actually just poured a glass. I do. I love wine. And I know that is so bad for trying to build muscle. Like it's so much sugar.
I mean, depending on, it's really not the sugar, it's more the alcohol content, but depending on how much alcohol you're drinking, but
I'm kind of a lush, but
yeah. I mean, but depending on it, we can always bring in the waist. It's kind of cool. We're just playing with ratios.
Taper?
Huh?
You use a waist taper?
No, I do it all diet.
Really? See, that's where I struggle. I'm so bad at the diet part of all of this. Like my personal trainer tried putting me on like this like crazy diet. She wanted me like count macros and I was just so confused. Like, I don't know anything about macros. I wanted so badly to like understand, but recording my food for some reason is just so much work for me. I just don't have the like attention span.
It is at first.
Well, yeah. So I tried it and then that's when I started getting too lean and I hated it. Actually, I now know why. I stopped recording because I remember I was doing a good job in the beginning with the recording and everything. And I was liking my abs, but then I noticed that like my butt and legs, they weren't as juicy as I wanted. They were like really lean. So I kind of stopped because I thought I was getting too lean. And I know that I shouldn't have stopped because it's always good to like know what you're putting in your body. But now I don't know the balance because I know there is a balance, but I don't know what it is to like having a more lean stomach, but still keeping my like, I don't know. Isn't there lean bulking?
Yeah. And that's honestly what most people should do. Cause some people, when they bulk, they call it like dirty bulking. And it's really
that's kind of how I feel like I am. Like I've dirty bulked myself to getting my gains back from my major loss last year. And like, that's why I feel like I'm too thick in my midsection, whereas I'd like to be more lean there, but
that all comes down to diet. And so if you went through this, if you were counting macros and you started to get too lean, you, instead of stopping tracking macros, what we could have done is just increase food and increase it in the right amount. So, you keep your protein where it is, you probably get that increase from carbohydrates, maybe a little bit of fat. And then we make sure that most of your carbohydrates and your proteins will come from around your workout.
Yeah.
Fat just to sustain energy. But yeah, I mean, my favorite thing to do with my clients is we bring the waist in and we make the glutes and the shoulders big so that your waist looks tiny and your ass looks huge. So
cool.
Welcome to bodybuilding.
Well, one of my trainers, actually, she is a coach for bodybuilders. Like she does like shows and stuff with them. So she's always incorporating like some of her techniques and exercises into our workouts, which is so crazy because like I never used to like work any of my accessory muscles whatsoever. Like she's doing like things that I never even knew really existed. And I've, because of that, gotten so much stronger in my other types of workouts. Like it's just incredible having her like knowledge, and then the CrossFit gym and my other guy, like all of them combined, it's like, I don't know. I feel like I'm just the strongest I've ever been. Like I could literally lift a car.
That's
But
awesome.
no, I
love
couldn't.
that.
But I used to be able to deadlift 240 pounds, and then I hurt my back, and I haven't been able to climb back past 200 since that. So I've been more focused on my hip thrust, and I just hit my PR today of 305. So I'm really happy.
Oh, hell yeah. 3 plates next week then.
Yeah. And I'm going to be, I'm going for 400 pounds. It's definitely a really big goal, but I think I can do it.
Okay. So let me ask you this. So being a coach myself, I get so many clients, and I think this stigma is starting to become less prevalent in the industry. But how many women do we run into that don't want to lift heavy because they're afraid they're going to get too bulky?
I want to
because you're lifting super heavy.
I'm lifting heavier than a lot of guys I know.
Yeah, and people want to look like you.
And I'm not bulky. Like, no. I mean, I'm not muscular.
Yeah. So were you ever afraid of lifting heavy, or have you always loved it?
Oh my God, I was never afraid. Are you kidding me? Yeah. I wanted to look like the power lifters a long time ago. I wanted to do powerlifting actually. And then I got talked out of it because I kept getting injured in CrossFit. So I was just like, maybe it's just best that I just don't powerlift, because I'd rather be focused on my endurance and strength training than doing like one big rep or just 2 big reps, you know? So I just decided to like not do powerlifting. And I also saw a few really like scary powerlift videos, and basically I just scared myself out of it. So I also wanted to do the bikini competing for a while. And then I just decided altogether, I was like, all of that just seems like more work than what I'm doing now. And it seems so stressful for me. Like, I don't know if I have the discipline mentally. But I mean, I still do sometimes think about competing, like doing this bikini competing, but I don't know if I want to get that lean anymore. I used to want to be like that. So back in the day, I wanted to look really, really muscular. So I never was afraid to lift heavy. I always wanted to look really jacked. And then my dad one day goes to me, he's like, Britt, you're starting to get a little too buff. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he was just like, I don't know. Do you want to look like a guy? And I was like, that's the rudest thing you've ever said to me.
Yeah,
like, that. What? And then I was just like, okay, so maybe I'm like actually starting to look the muscular like physique that I wanted. And he was like, do you really want to look scary? And I was like, yes.
Yes. That's what I say. My parents
say
the
same thing. I remember seeing a girl like bartending back when I was going to Champlain. I think she was bartending at Rasputin's or something. She had the biggest arms and traps. Like, I don't know who she was. She definitely, I think, was into women, but she had the most beautiful like physique, just like so muscular. And I was impressed. I mean, she looked like she had CrossFit. You know how CrossFitters' bodies look?
Yep.
I used to want to look like that. Yep. So
I like that look. Yeah.
I do too. I think it's awesome.
It's strong. I just like people. I like strong people. I don't know.
So do I.
Yeah.
I love strong.
So let me ask you this. In obviously in all aspects of life, like we run into this all the time where people are like, don't get too big, or like you're getting too big, or you're like, you maybe eat a hamburger and you're like, dude, shut the fuck up, Karen. So, so, and you have this massive following and your job is literally social media. So how do you block that shit out?
It was real hard. In the beginning, I almost wanted to like give up, actually multiple times. The haters and everything like that, it was just becoming like so detrimental to my mental health. Like I started believing some of the comments I was getting. Like people were saying shit like, oh, your ass isn't that great. Or, oh, like you have no tits. When are you going to fix that? Like you need to get surgery. Like people would say shit like that. I used to get comments like, oh, like you look like a boy. Like, where's your boobs? Or people would say stuff like I was a butterface, and they would just be ruthless on there. And then I started to like realize that these were people that literally had nothing going for them. They were sitting in their mom's basement, probably in their own filth for weeks on end, just behind their keyboard, like just saying hateful things to people who are doing something successful with their lives, and they're haters. So I just started reminding myself that I'm great, and these people are just jealous and have nothing good going on. So they want to tear someone down.
Has it gotten worse, like the bigger your page has gotten, or has it gotten better? Or
yeah,
because I would imagine that
followers have your back.
I would imagine that like the better you do, the more people want to tear you down. But then also maybe there are more people defending you.
Yeah, like your fans have your back.
So I have established a really like authentic and loyal following. They are 100% for me, and they do have my back. It's crazy, actually. Sometimes I get messages being like, "Yeah, that hater that was like giving you shit recently, I went and reported his page 5 times, and then I like told him I was gonna kill him." I was like, okay, so what? You don't have to take it
Maybe
that
a little
far.
too far.
Yeah, well, that's how it is more now. But before, it was more like I used to get girls in my DMs calling me a slut and stuff. I used to get a lot of Jesus people in there being like, "You are literally like the spawn of Satan. Like, what are you doing? You're selling yourself." And it's like, I forget what they would say, but basically they're saying I needed to like look to Jesus again or some shit. I don't know.
You're
Fucking
like,
people are
whatever they say.
Yeah. So, but as far as like the amount of hate I get today, I think I don't notice it as much. I do get it still, but I don't notice it as much because it's more positive than negative now because of the amount of people I have following me.
That's cool. And yeah, the hate never comes from above. Like no one hating on you is ever doing better than you.
No, I mean, so I don't know. Some models are a little bit.
She's like,
catty.
Actually.
Well, it is true. Like there are some models who are sort of like, I don't know. I do it too. I've realized, but I don't do it like, I'm not like directly doing it to them. I just know that there's some girls that I'll be like judging them, but not to their face or behind. I'm not judging to other people about them really.
It's hard. Like it's almost like a weird natural reaction.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I feel like that sometimes too. I'll have those thoughts and then it's like my rational brain is like, whoa. Yeah. Like I would never say anything out loud, but those thoughts kind of come into my brain.
I've gone as far as like blocking, and then I was like, okay, that's so petty. Why did I just block this girl? Like she literally hasn't done shit to me. So I unblocked her. I was like, I just let myself get a little out of control there. So I unblocked, and then I instead just muted and restricted the account so that they wouldn't show up like in my feed and stuff. But that doesn't really matter. If you're not following the person, I don't know why they would be showing up in your feed. But yeah, I don't know. It's just like one girl specifically that I did that with. And I felt really stupid about it too. Cause I was like, this is real petty of you. Like, you're not like that. You are not even a jealous person. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, we're human.
But it's because she started blowing up really fast and I got really like jealous. Cause I was like, she just started her account and here I am. I've been literally like killing myself for like 3.5 years to get to where I am. I'm not even at 1 million yet. And I've seen girls just like fucking bypass me. And
so how does that work? How do they do that?
I have been trying to figure it out for a while myself. And I have a few theories. I know a lot of people do buy their following and other people have like agencies running their accounts for them. So they're usually doing the dirty work of getting them to grow. So they're scheduling their posts to be like seen at like their peak time of the day on their peak days of the week. They come up with their like content and the captions that are usually killer captions, or they'll be working like consistently with very big photographers because they have something to offer those photographers. Like if they've got like a really stellar look and the photographer just wants to continue working with that person.
Or they're paying them.
Yeah.
Or they're paying the photographer.
Well, yeah. And I actually pay my photographers too, but I don't have I'm not working like that with them. Like, so Mozart, he has girls that he calls his girls because they're kind of under his like management in a sense. Like they're his models technically. So because he has a deal with them and they pay him a percentage per month, like I think 20% or something, he doesn't charge them for shoots since they're paying 20% of their income to him. I do pay for shoots because I'm not like under his wing. Like
you just kind of do like one-off shoots with him. So he's going to prioritize like different people based on the relationship.
So his girls are all in like a constant rotation. And that's what he does is he grows their accounts by posting them on his page constantly. So this chick just like, she started out with, I don't know, maybe like 20,000 followers or something when I met her. And now she's like almost about to hit 300K. And that was just like 6 months ago. And it makes me so angry because it's like, I have to like travel across the country to shoot with these people who aren't going to post me as consistently as they post those girls. Or I have to like do paid shout outs with people. You know, it's just like, I'm working hard to like grow fast. And I see these people just like blow me out of the water basically. And it's frustrating. So
basically like the enhanced speed there is because they're working consistently with someone who has a huge really following, 1 million plus, and they're always posting them. So like, how could somebody who's not, say, like a model, how could they relate that? Like if you were like a business owner or like me, for instance, like if I want to grow my page,
if we want to get to 10K.
Josh could probably get, because you could get people to post your physique photos.
Probably. Oh, I could.
Yeah.
But I guess so for me, like if I'm doing content, I could probably get big pages, like pay like a big page, for instance, to feature me all the time.
Yes, exactly. Like, so back when I like really wanted to seriously grow, I don't know if you've ever heard of Banger Buddy, that account. They post memes and like really like raunchy content. It's like a meme page that's like it's like meme and like college-y party theme. You know those accounts?
Yeah.
They just show ridiculous shit on their pages, like World Star stuff, kind of.
World Star, Barstool, that type of thing.
You can pay World Star too. Their price is like $2,000 for a feed post.
2,000 for a feed post, right? Yeah.
That's what it used to be. I don't know. It's probably gone up now because they've gotten more followers. I think they have like 30 million or something. A lot of people I know have actually taken that route where they've paid World Star and they get like maybe 40,000 followers from that. So
do you think it's worth the money to do one post, or is it something that their followers kind of have to see recurring? Because I've seen with a lot of like influencers, like when I was working at my company before, working with a lot of influencers, it was basically like a waste of money to have them post your product once. Everybody said the same thing. Like our followers need to see this product 3 times before they start buying it. That's true, especially with like that. So I have a guy that wants me to post his, he does like, I think he grows for like dispensaries and stuff out in like Northern California, and he just sent me like a huge goodie box full. It was like $500 something worth of stuff, like traits and flour and edibles. He even sent me like this like cool like dabber pen that also can read the temperature of your nail so that you know when to take the right temp dab. So he sent me all that stuff in a box, hoping that I could help promote him. And so I am going to, and I think because of the amount of money that he just like basically threw away at me with sending all that, I'll have to post him on my page and then leave it up for like a week, kind of like what I did with the vape company. Yeah. But I'm going to have to do it like probably at least 3 times, like what you were just saying, for it to be worthwhile for him. Because one time, and I started realizing that too. You should get him to pay you, not just free product. No, I know everyone says that. He'll do it. I mean, he'll do it. I'm so bad at like, that's why I stopped doing promo for brands, because I'm really like not business savvy. So I was getting kind of taken advantage of, because I've had multiple people ask me if I can repost their, like, for instance, this guy started sending me his like fitness gear that he's making now. And I've been using it, but I also like tag him in all my stories and stuff. But like, I don't have to do that. It's not like he paid me. He's just giving me shit. And I'm realizing that like, that's not the route to go. Like I should be getting payment, but I don't know how to charge. Like I only did the post with you that time, and I like haven't really done anything like it since, because I was like, I don't know if that even helped them. And I don't want to like be posting people's products out here if like it's not going to help them and they're spending money on that. Like I didn't want to waste people's money, I guess. Right. So I haven't answered any people. I have people all in my inbox right now asking me to do that. And I'm like, first of all, it hurts my engagement because my audience does not want to see anything except me. And second of all, I don't even know like how to make their businesses grow just by posting them, because I don't know if that works. You know, my audience is really specific to a certain thing, which is sex, like sex appeal and fitness, but mostly the sex appeal stuff. Like I think 80% male followers and 20% female. So it's getting better as I've gotten bigger, I'm noticing I'm getting more female followers, but it's still such a large like male following. So I don't know. I'm going to see how it works with he's doing a giveaway. I'm going to basically post the product with my booty because they want to see that. So I'm going to see if I can get their attention if it's still my ass. And then I'll post him on my story a couple times. And if it seems to like work out for him, I might go back into promotion again. But it's just, for me, hasn't worked out like really. I don't know. I feel like that's kind of the case with a lot of like influencers who are promoting things. You have to keep doing it, basically, like what you were saying.
Yeah.
Like it's not worthwhile to that company if it's just like a one-time thing, or
Yeah. I think it's like you want to, if you're trying to grow so I think it seems one of the ways that you grew your page is through getting other larger pages to post your stuff. Yeah, so I think that's like a shout outs. Yeah. I think that's huge. Like no matter what you're doing, if you have a media business like me, or if you have like a fitness page, whatever it is, like I think that's big
in that industry. Yeah.
Yeah. But probably pick like a lower number of pages and get them to do it more times versus like instead of getting 100 pages to post you once, get like 5 pages to post you like 20 times each. You know what I mean?
Yes, yeah. Exactly. See, you're not completely clueless on building.
This is live.
We're just trying to figure it out right now.
Yeah.
Well, so yeah, basically you just like hit the nail on the head. Wait, is that the right saying?
Yeah.
I just want to get to 10K.
Yeah.
I want the swipe up. That's what I want.
Yeah.
The swipe up. Oh God. So about that, depending on what it is that you're having, swipe up. So a lot of accounts are getting taken down right now for doing swipe ups. If it's a swipe up for like, a not safe for work page, like 18 plus pages, Instagram gets you for that.
Oh,
if you say bio, like you have to be so careful with the terminology. Even talking in a video can get you in trouble. It's wild. Crazy.
Well,
because you're scanning constantly.
Let me ask you this, because on Facebook and Instagram, the platforms, and I just thought of this just now. So the platforms will reward you for keeping people on the platform, right? So if you're on Facebook and people are engaging with your page and you're keeping them on Facebook, they're probably going to show you more. But if you are on Facebook and you post like a YouTube video as a post and you get people off of Facebook, they're not going to prioritize that. So how does that work with the swipe up? They're doing that with TikTok too?
Yep. So they're getting people for, cause how Instagram, they made this thing called Reels, which is supposed to be like a TikTok type of way to do video. They are now basically, when people are posting their TikToks, especially onto their feed, they're hiding that now. And
even if it just has the logo, right?
Yes. And if because they want you to use their Reels.
I've heard of that.
Yep.
So you make your TikTok and you post it on TikTok, and then you make a separate reel and you post it on Instagram you don't just convert it. I've done that.
Actually, one of my reels was completely, I'm trying to look at it. I made it on TikTok and then I never posted it on TikTok because TikTok sucks and is literally for children and has down every video I've ever posted that's like remotely sexy. Yet I see girls twerking on it. So I'm like, they just don't
you have to be under 16 if you want to twerk on TikTok.
Exactly.
Because for some reason that's okay.
So fucked up.
It's so annoying, dude. Oh my God. Don't even get me started with TikTok. Okay. Like fuck TikTok. But anyways, I made my clip in TikTok because I like how it's easier to make my videos in there than on the Instagram Reels. Mm-hmm. So Instagram clearly has work to do if they want theirs to be successful like TikTok's, because TikTok makes it super easy. Their interface and everything, it's like up, like you have all the effects and everything. And it's like with Instagrams, I feel like they didn't make it super user friendly. Mm-hmm. And that's where they're failing. And plus, we already have TikTok. So why do we need a second TikTok? TikTok is successful on its own. It's its own thing. And
do you think TikTok or these new platforms are like a threat to Instagram, or can they all coexist?
No, Instagram wants to be the king of all.
They want to be everything. Facebook wants to be everything.
They're like super fucking anti-Twitter. They're anti-Snapchat, and they're mostly anti-TikTok right now. Cause I haven't really gotten in trouble for posting like my Snapchat code on my story because mine's a public Snapchat, not like a premium Snapchat. If you have premium Snapchat though, they'll get you for that. Like you can't be posting your premium anything on Instagram. That's why I use Linktree. So like I can direct people to other social media platforms through my Linktree rather than directly connecting them. You know what I mean?
So don't cross platforms.
Yeah, well, and also
don't mix content from different platforms because they don't like that.
Well, they also want you to stay on their platform.
Right.
So if you're like, that's why I'm curious about the swipe up thing is like the swipe up most often will bring you off of the platform.
Unless you pay for ads. I think you probably don't want to swipe up unless you're going to pay for ads. Would you say that was correct?
Yeah. So I paid for an ad one time. I let it run for like 3 days. It was really weird, actually. I don't know if it really worked out for me because I feel like with the ads, unless you're really like trying to promote like a product, like that's what they're for. And I wasn't really promoting a product. I wanted my picture to get likes. That's why I did the ad, which now that I look back on it, it's so stupid. But, yeah. So I feel like when it comes down to like being a business and having products and stuff, like the ads can be really helpful for business and trying to sell something. But if you're just trying to like promote your page through doing these ads, it really doesn't work out.
Mm-hmm. You might as well put that money into a shout out.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
They do like it when you spend money on their platform though. So like I've heard that if you do run ads, it can help like just make Instagram happy.
You have to make the Instagram gods happy.
Exactly. Money. And I did it back in the day when I did pay for the ad. I remember like my friend being like, so a lot of accounts are getting deleted right now who post like sexual pictures. So I started doing this like test to see if maybe by buying ads from Instagram, they would like not punish my account. Well, he was wrong. He lost his page like 3 times and never got them back because he was one of those booty pages that do shout outs for like, they just repost girls' bikinis pictures basically and tags them. So like they don't own the rights to the content or pictures, which no one does anymore because Instagram owns everything. But yeah, the guy like thought what he was doing was helping him save his account by paying for the ads because he thought by giving the app money, they would basically look the other way at the content he was posting. And that's not, you should never try and use that as a way to keep your account safe is all I'm trying to say. Because I did try it and then my account got shut down too. So that is a really scary feeling when that happens. And I really hope it never happens again.
It seems like a lot of this comes down to like the algorithms like always changing. Like I'm always hearing about that. So how do you stay on top of that? How do you keep up with it? How do you stay on top of that? Yeah.
So I have a Google Alerts for Instagram news. So I always see when the tech websites are posting about the new like algorithm changes or like when Instagram is like going like has a crash or something, like they're always putting that in the Google Alerts news. And then I also know people who work for Instagram. So I ask them sometimes to like let me know like when they're going to change again or like did it just recently change? Sometimes they'll like let me know like be like wary of posting certain things like right now because they're like really like cracking down. Like for instance, this most recent change they did was December 20th. They actually didn't change a ton, but they did change the writing on their policies. So people started freaking out thinking that it meant like you can't post in bikinis or underwear anymore because that's kind of what it sounded like when they updated the terms, but that wasn't what they were doing. And they had to come out and say it in the news that they weren't going to like punish all these accounts who already had like kind of sexual looking content. I've learned the hard way too many times. Like I try so hard to not like push the envelope with them. I mean, I had a lot of haters in the beginning who would report me constantly, but I also have gotten like flagged through the actual app for posting like something that was sheer, which I didn't even realize the outfit I had on was like, it was like a bodysuit that was really mesh. And I think I like did like a boomerang and it was like that, but my nipples weren't showing. But I guess what they got me for was because I like went down low with the camera. Not that you could see anything, but they scan that. That's how like smart their AI is. You would never think that this was something that like could get you flagged.
Yeah.
So
well, and they probably put you on like a watch list or something.
Probably.
They definitely do. I was under a microscope for the longest time. I don't know if I am anymore or not. So another thing that I have to be careful with is when I go on live on Instagram, I don't repost the lives anymore like I used to, because sometimes, and I don't realize I did it, but like something will be like, I'll have like a nip slip or something like really small and minor, but it's something that someone could literally screenshot and report me for it, and they would take me down immediately. It happened to me one time, like probably 2019, when I had like, I think I only had like 100,000 followers at this point. I went on Instagram Live with a photographer, and I was wearing a crop top and I didn't have a bra underneath. And I think I like did something like I reached up like this, and I didn't notice this until the very next day, because I saved that to my camera roll, but I also posted it onto Instagram stories, and my account got shut down for like 6 hours, and I was freaking out. I couldn't get back on it. It was like disabled temporarily. And then suddenly I got back in, and it's because I like appealed it right away. But apparently it was because of that nip slip, which is crazy.
Oh, shit.
Like it was such a small little slip. Like it was barely, like no one else probably even noticed it, but I did, because I watch my stories like a million times over, and just like, I look at everything. I'm like, is anything showing that shouldn't be showing? Mm-hmm. It's so scary.
So let me ask you this. So in the fitness space, something that we talk about with my other coaches is kind of like what you're referring to here is there may be a possibility that Instagram wants to shut down like even us posting progress photos. Like,
yes.
Like me posing in my boxers or my posing trunks may not always be cool. So what we do is, we're growing private Facebook pages where we can kind of like post whatever we want.
Oh, okay.
So what do you think there's a backup plan for people other than that? If they decide to shut this down, like all of us are kind of in trouble. All of us who rely on showing skin and like showing off what we can do with our clients or ourselves are going to be in trouble. So like, what do we do? What's the backup plan?
That's a really daunting thought that I have all the time, actually. Yeah. And I hate thinking about it. Like I've thought about it constantly. And that's kind of why I keep trying to grow my social media followings on other platforms like Twitter. I'm working on growing on my Twitter right now, because that one's probably not going anywhere. And Twitter is also a really interesting platform. It is full of porn.
Yeah, anything goes
really
there.
Fucked up videos. Like I saw someone getting shot on there.
Oh, shit.
Like it's almost like a Reddit kind of. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's crazy. I can't believe they just gave up on their rules completely. The only thing that I've ever gotten in trouble for on Twitter is for copyright music. Mm-hmm. They're big on that. They will shut you down for that. Instagram is
that's
also
where they draw the line.
Yeah.
What?
So that's where they draw the line.
I know, right? Like so weird, but yeah. So Twitter, I'm trying to grow on Twitter, but it's a really different platform, and I'm so not familiar with how to like grow on there. So I noticed that if you're posting on Twitter, like first of all, again, it's gotta be quality content. But obviously I post more of my quality on Instagram. So I don't like to like post the same stuff on both platforms, because then people aren't going to be like interested if they're seeing it in two places. So I mostly will do like selfies for Twitter. But I try to like keep in mind that it has to be good content. So I try to like mix it up. Like I make it sexy, but I also try to make it like, not like, it's not just like a stupid like face selfie. It's like everything's different from my Instagram basically, and Snapchat. Like I try making everything unique to each platform. So like I take content for Twitter, I take content for Snapchat, I take content for Instagram. I don't really take content for TikTok anymore, because I just sort of have given up on them. Like I cannot get away with posting anything. I'm fully clothed and all my stuff on there, and they still keep flagging me and taking my stuff down. Mm-hmm. I really feel like either someone who's working for TikTok just really doesn't like me, or it's like a group of people that are reporting me. But I dealt with this on Instagram for the first like few years of trying to grow on that platform, of just getting constant hate, having like people like do group reports. Like they would like get into like groups and just keep reporting my page like every day. And then it eventually just goes down. So I stopped posting on TikTok for that reason. Wow. I also lost my Snapchat like last year. They deleted me for doing a swipe up.
So how do you get it back when you lose it? Or
Snapchat will never let you get back your account.
okay, so how do you
start over fresh? And I had 10,000 followers on there, and now I think I have just about 1,000. It took me like 6 months to get 1,000 followers on there. Like each platform is incredibly different with growing.
Yeah.
So, and I know how to grow Instagram. I don't know how to grow these other ones. Like I'm constantly like scratching my head. I'm like, how do these people get so like big on these other platforms? Like I know girls who have like almost 500,000 followers on Twitter. And I'm like, I just watched they start out like below me. Like they start, and then like in a couple months, they've got 500,000 followers. I'm like, how did you do that? I literally am asking, I ask people on there all the time, like, how'd you grow like this?
Crazy.
And it's not the same at all as Instagram. Like you can pay for retweets, but I don't even know like how much that works. They leave the tweet up or they'll retweet you and leave it for 1 hour and then they delete it. It's like, I barely grow from that. I paid a guy $50 to like retweet one of my posts. And I think I got maybe like 10 followers out of that. And he has like 600,000.
Oh, shit.
So I don't get Twitter's algorithm at all. So if you ever have questions about those ones, I don't have answers.
we'll all figure it out together.
I'm still looking for the answers for all that. So yeah, I'm constantly trying to grow on other platforms because I do fear someday that Instagram will be something that it's like completely different or just not a thing at all. I really want to get into Facebook, but it's also Instagram basically. Like they're so strict on there and it's just so tough to like change my focus into another like platform and have to learn how to grow on it and the algorithm stuff. Like I have a business Facebook account linked to my Instagram, but I don't even use it. I don't know how to like engage on there because it's so different.
Yeah. So I think you can only run ads through the business page on Facebook. You can't run ads through personal. That's why we went private page.
My personal one.
Yeah.
What?
But that's why we went private page is because we can actually kind of control the algorithm. Like if you're in a private page and they post something, you've basically opted in to see it.
Yeah, that's true. I have actually noticed that because there are a bunch of accounts that I want to follow, but they're private. Mm-hmm. So like, yeah, I guess I could do that, but I don't know. I really don't like Facebook that much.
Me either.
No, and it's like, it's just not the same feeling. And I don't know. I love Instagram. I really hope that they stop changing. Like I want them to just stay where they are right now. Yeah, even though I know they're constantly thinking of how can we make this a like family app. Actually, I just read in the news, well, Instagram news, yesterday that they're now making it, they just like installed a new feature so that you can't talk to underage kids anymore if you are like of age. They don't let you message directly. It's so weird. And they're also going to make they're talking about making it like a separate, I don't know how it would work, if it's a part of the same app or if it's like a sister app to Instagram, but for kids who are 13 and younger or whatever, because that's their biggest thing is they hate having children on the app seeing like this really like sexual content out there. And they clearly can't just shut us all down because we are basically the ones that are making them boom. You know what I mean? Like they can't get rid of sexy photos because then all these lingerie and bikini brands, where are they going to go? Like they're only going to let them show their bodies, but they won't let other accounts do that. That's not fair. They're going to lose everyone if they do that. Mm-hmm. And we are the people that are making their platform thrive. So they have to think about that, I think. So I don't know. Yes. I'm hopeful that they're just going to try to make a different like section of their platform for people that are family and kids, you know? Like they're going to probably start going towards like making like you have to be 18 or older to like view. They already do that actually. You have to be 18 or older to view certain content on Instagram. Yeah, it's crazy, but they're constantly changing it.
Interesting.
That's wild. It's hard to keep up with. The Google alerts is a really good tip though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've been doing that forever now. I flag it every time it comes into my email so I can go back and refer to stuff. Mm-hmm. I became super, super interested in learning about social media, like in 2015, I believe. Mm-hmm. And started really just trying to learn more about social media and see how I could become successful on it.
Yeah.
Because I started following like these fitness accounts in the beginning. I don't know if you've ever heard of Summer Rae.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Summer Rae and Lauren Drainfit
Yep.
and so many. Oh, what's her name? She's so hot. She was dating Callum
Von Moger,
Yeah.
Karina.
Yes.
Karina L.
Or wait, I thought her name was, is it Karina L or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's so hot.
Yeah.
Has the best body. So I started following accounts like her. And then I was like, well, if they can do this, then I could do this, because I'm starting to really like look good, like shredded. Like I think I'm going to go for it. And that's kind of where that all stemmed from.
So,
And then I found accounts like, have you heard of Katya Henry?
no.
Okay, well, she and Summer Rae were like my booty inspiration back in the day. Like they had really nice built up butts, nice flat stomachs, and were constantly like posting like in the gym and stuff. So I was like, all right, these girls are my biggest inspo right now. And then I just started focusing on my glutes and posting on social media. And that's kind of where it just like took off.
Mm-hmm. So these are all accounts that have made pretty good livings just posting on social media. Are you monetizing? This is the last thing I want to ask you. Honestly, I feel like we could talk forever.
Yeah.
But we'll just have to have you on again. But
Yeah.
Are you currently monetizing? And if not, do you plan to? And how does that work?
I am, but I'm not really like, so I was doing like the promo stuff where I would get paid to post for people, but I actually stopped doing that because, like I said, it started hurting my engagement and it just didn't seem worth it to me. So I started, obviously you've heard of it, OnlyFans.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
and that is how I am making my living. So I will take what I make from there and I invest that into my Instagram brand.
Oh, hell yeah. Dude,
Yeah.
I know people making so much fucking money on OnlyFans.
I actually don't have to have a job because of it.
That's wild.
So when I got laid off from my graphic design job in April of 2020, right when we went into that like first big shutdown from the pandemic. The company that I worked for was really struggling. So they had to like lay off a bunch of people because they couldn't keep us on anymore with the lack of business. So it was unfortunate that it happened, but I guess it was a little bit of a blessing in disguise, because after that happened, I was like, shit, what do? I have fucking no income right now. And I started collecting unemployment. Fucking thank God that they were giving us the extra like $600 on top of what we already were collecting. That helped me like just keep my head above water for a second while I started like figuring out how I could like, you know, make OnlyFans happen for me. So I started like doing not research, but like asking for advice from people who like were already on that platform and making a lot of money and being super successful from it. I signed up under this really big influencer's code, and she basically took me under her wing and started like teaching me the like ropes. So I started really like seeing how much I could make on there. And then I have been loving the time off from corporate world. Like it's been a really nice like break. And I've been able to travel and do whatever the fuck I want. And I love it. So I kind of want to just keep that going. I've been saving up a ton of money. So I'm like trying to buy a house.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah. I love OnlyFans. It's a great platform to make money on if you know how to use it. I know it's definitely like, there's a lot of people that are like, how can you do that? Like, that's like, you're selling yourself, like blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, honestly, like I already do that, but for free on Instagram. What is just removing the top, you know, like it's not a big deal. Yeah. It's not a big deal. I mean, I used to flash people when I was at bars. So that was literally,
For free.
they got that for free.
Yeah.
Now you have to pay to see that. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I think OnlyFans is a great opportunity for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like,
I do too.
For real.
That's one
Honestly,
I am worried about going away.
Make that fucking money.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned.
Oh, I am. Trust me, I am. I'm going to have a big old house.
Hell yeah.
That's
Hell
for
yeah.
sure.
You're worried about
student loans.
You're worried about OnlyFans going away?
Yeah, because that's another platform. It's like, I noticed sometimes like these platforms just like they get so mainstream. Like this shit like was not like no one even knew it existed like 2 years ago. And I started it right when it was like becoming kind of popular. So like I started it, but I wasn't focused on it. It was my side thing. Like I had my full-time graphic design job back then. So I was barely posting on there and not really like, I didn't really care that much on there. But then when I started seeing like how much money people are willing to spend on view, it's like, I was like, oh my God, I think I need to start like focusing more on this. And that's where I started getting distracted from my actual job. But then in the end, it actually ended up being a blessing in disguise, because now I'm really successful on there and I'm loving it.
That's awesome.
I don't know. I've tried to give girls advice all the time. Like a lot of girls want to like do like what I do. And honestly, if it weren't for OnlyFans, I don't think I'd be able to just do influencing full time, because it's really, it's a lot of work and you have to like invest. It's money. Like invest in your brand, basically. I really want to get into stocks now.
Hell yeah.
Because I just feel like I need to like invest in something and just let it grow. So like in case OnlyFans were to ever go away, like I'll have like, you know, I'll have a savings from. But that's why I want to buy a house, because that's like a really good investment to make, because it's equity. And
that's what we just did.
Yeah, exactly. It's great. And then you can like rent it out and have another income. It's like, that's always like the thing that's on my mind is like, I just want to set up my future as best as I can so that I can like be comfortable down the road.
Yeah.
Dope.
I don't want to struggle.
Well, you're killing it.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's been cool. Yeah. No, it's cool. And I think a lot of people are going to learn at least something. I mean, I learned a lot from this conversation. I didn't know a lot of this shit. So I'm going to apply it. I want to get to 10K. I want to get
let me do a quick recap. I've got 3 questions for you. Real quick. I'm going to fire the questions and then just the first thing that pops into your head, I guess.
Okay.
What are like a few top techniques for growing a page, like any page?
So basically you want to find a theme and stick to it, be consistent. Don't post, if you're going to post like, you know, your abs on Instagram and then the next day you post like food, like that's inconsistent and people are going to be like, what? Like they're going to unfollow you because they originally saw that you posted like this one thing that they really liked. And then if you're going to post something the next day that's completely different, they're going to probably drop off and become uninterested with you because they're going to be like, well, I followed you originally for something else. And now you're posting that. So that's like a big tip that I've learned is to keep it consistent. Another thing for being successful is finding like the right hashtags, trying to like keep them unique. Don't use the same hashtags every day, because if you use the same hashtags with every post, Instagram sees that as spam. Okay. They'll hide you. Obviously do the research on the hashtag, click on the hashtag you're using and make sure it's not banned, because they don't always update the lists when you Google 2021 banned hashtags on Instagram. Like it's constantly like there's constantly additions to that. So definitely do your own research before you like take what they're putting out there as the banned hashtags list. I've learned that the hard way. Responding to your fans like in the first hour of a post being live is a huge thing for your engagement. It will help you be seen more on the algorithm too. The more people who engage with your content, the more they're going to put you out there. Okay. Obviously, really good quality content is a huge thing too. Like professional photos, like does really well. High resolution photos, not cell phone pictures. I mean, yeah, cell phone pictures here and there is okay. Like they like to see some stuff that's like real life, but mostly keep that to your stories and your highlights. What else? Interacting with like-minded accounts who have something to offer you, like have a bigger following, or even accounts that have similar following or a little less following than you, as long as their engagement is super good, you can benefit from that too. Like doing shout outs with each other. Paid promotion goes
big, goes a long way, especially if you're doing like, there's a lot of giveaways, celebrity giveaways that you can pay to enter. And then the celebrities on those giveaways will be posting the people, like they'll tag them, and that's how you get their traffic. And obviously after the giveaways are over, you will find that there is a fall off, because once the giveaway ends, sometimes the followers are like, all right, well, it's over. I'm going to unfollow this account now.
Right.
So there is always a little bit of a downside to doing those, which is why I don't do those as much now. I do mostly like paid promo. Like I'll pay like a larger account, just like post me on their story or on their page. But yeah, investment is the biggest key. Because like I said, to grow organically these days has just become extremely difficult. You have to really like just be the most unique account out there if you're going to do it the organic route. So I think that just investing in your brand is key if you're trying to go far with Instagram.
Awesome.
Was that 10?
That was,
I don't know.
No, that was perfect. Yeah. Those,
okay.
That's all super, super good. And I guess, I think that was good. Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you nailed it.
That was like super valuable, I think, for people.
Is this live?
No.
No, it's not live. When is this one going out?
It'll probably be going out on Wednesday.
Dude, this has been super, super helpful for us too. So I hope you had fun. It's been awesome having you on.
Yeah, it was wicked fun. I'll definitely do it again if you guys ever want to have me on.
Hell yeah. Like honestly, the platforms are always changing and you know way more than we do or anyone else that we know. So you're a pretty valuable resource.
I've dedicated like my life to like this stuff. I don't know.
For real.
I never thought I was going to either, because I went to college for graphic design and I thought that I was forever just going to do that. But now I'm even thinking about going back to college to do something else. I want to do business and do interactive design. So I want to like build websites and design for them.
Sick.
I love graphic design, but honestly, it's just not doing it for me anymore. Like I want more. I want to have more skills to offer.
I got to make a website soon, so we'll talk for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I just actually made one and I can't figure it out because I'm trying to like put all of my like modeling pictures on a website as like basically a kind of like a catalog or like a portfolio piece, so that like it's not just on Instagram, it's somewhere else in case something ever happened. But I think I accidentally like got a pre-made template because I just did it through Wix and I didn't realize that I bought like a template meant for blogs, and now I can't remove this person's picture off of the About Me page, and it's not me. So I haven't done anything. I just paid for all this and I'm like, what the hell am I doing? I'm rusty. I haven't built a website in so long.
Yeah, I did that with WordPress and I think I tried with, I just don't like, I don't know. I'm so OCD that when I'm building my website, there's like a thing on the page and I want it to be like a half inch to the left and I can't do that on WordPress. And so I'm like, I just got to pay someone to fucking build me a page.
Oh my God. I know. And that's so, I did not want to, I can make websites. I don't want to pay someone if I know how to do this myself.
Yeah.
But clearly it's been so long since I've had to do a website that I'm like now seeing like the challenge and I'm like, oh my God. I really just wanted this to be easy because I thought I like said to myself, I was like, bitch, you know how to do this stuff. It's so easy. Like, this is what you went to school for. Like, how are you stuck right now on this really simple thing? I'm sure it's something so easy to fix. And I'm so stumped. I've been like Googling it. Like, I think I have to contact Wix because at this point it's just out of hands.
I think we'll do what you did with your social media. Like ask someone who is good at building websites and just like see if they'll ask
couple people who I thought like could help me, and because there are other graphic designers who also can build websites, I thought that they would be able to help, but apparently they're also clueless because that's really we're specialized in graphic design, not web. That's why I want to go back to school. I'm like, I need both.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, that'll be cool.
But obviously I want to pay off Champlain first.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, fuck that.
Fuck those loans.
Well, shoot, before we part ways, I want people to know where to find you at. So give yourself a plug. Where can we find you on like all your shit? Okay.
So on Instagram, my main account is at @B_Crispin, CRISPIN. And on Twitter, it's all one word, The Real B Crispin. And same on TikTok, it's the same name. And
Do you want my Snapchat? Because that one's a little harder.
Dude, all of it.
All right. Oh, it's not actually hard. It's B Crispin.
Oh, sick.
I don't know why I thought it was more. I thought there was like underscores in it. And then if you're on my main account, you will see that I have in my bio all my backup pages for my Instagrams. And on the big backup page, which is B Crispin Official, my link tree is in the bio. So you can find me on my OnlyFans, and my other social medias are linked on there.
Sick.
And my Facebook is my personal Facebook. So I don't really let people from Instagram follow me on there because it's more for friends and family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And eventually I will try to make a Facebook account that is cohesive with Instagram. I just haven't taken time to do that yet.
Okay.
I have too many social medias right now.
Yeah. No. Yeah. You're doing great at what you're doing right now. So keep doing it.
I'm going to keep trying to learn more about Instagram because that's my main focus. Telegram is another weird one. I don't even know why, but I've been seeing a lot of people posting that here's my Telegram if you want to
I've never
message.
heard of that.
It's weird.
Yeah. I've never heard of that.
Yeah. So Telegram, I have a Telegram, but I don't use it because it's really weird. And I don't really know what the point of it is. It's like basically WhatsApp and text message. So I'm really not sure why people are so obsessed with it.
Weird.
I don't know. But I will not give that because I don't even know what it is. I don't use it. I have it. But yeah.
Well, shit. That's awesome. Well, as you continue to learn more, I'm sure everyone would benefit from learning more from you. So I appreciate it. I appreciate you. And
well, I appreciate you guys. And if you ever want to give me tips or advice on starting a YouTube channel, I would obviously appreciate that.
Hell yeah. That would be this guy.
Okay. Well, then let's definitely connect about
we'll
that
talk
at some point because I really want to do YouTube.
Sounds good.
Let's make it happen.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks a lot, Britt. I appreciate you.
Yes, I
And
appreciate you too. And thank you for having me.
For sure. Keep killing it. We'll talk soon. For everybody who's listening, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Struggle to Strength podcast. We'll see you next week.